Hi, welcome to Indian Express Online. As we know, Britain has gone to vote today about it's going to decide on whether or not it's going to stay in the European Union or not. I have with me Udit, and we will be discussing what the repercussions of the decision will be. So, going into the vote, what do you think are the main economic concerns about getting into the vote?
Some of the most immediate concerns are economic, essentially related to currency trading, because if Britain does decide to leave the European Union, immediate repercussions would be on which currency goes up or down, and the sort of ramifications as a result on other currencies which are pegged to them. Indian rupee is not pegged to or linked to the pound as much as it is to the dollar, but still the uncertainty is tremendous. Exactly how it will pan out, especially in relation to how the companies are affected. Companies which are very heavily invested in the UK and also heavily invested in the European Union. So how will their plans be affected as a result of the decision? Those are the broader economic concerns. One cannot very credibly say how exactly everything will pan out, because even if Britain was to decide to leave European Union, chances are that more agreements will be forged between Britain and the remaining European Union countries, and people will not just simply give up on trade, so they will continue trading with some tweaking, and that may happen very quickly also. It may get staggered also. So there's too much uncertainty in that regard, and all of that will affect the businesses and the economies related to that.
And other than economies, what impact do you think it will have on the regional politics, especially the immigration policy?
Yes, so I think the heart of this whole debate is are two essential things. One is the future of regional agreements like the European Union, and for a while this has been debated. In fact, Britain itself was a very hesitant member to the European Union. And internally in Britain also there was a lot of debate all along. Britain never joined the common currency agreement. It always maintained its own monetary policy. And essentially the argument is that we want more policy freedom to decide what is good for us. And the second aspect within that larger desire for greater independence in terms of policy is about what happens to the people and their jobs, and intricately linked to that is the issue of immigrants. There's a lot of concern about how immigrants tend to take up a lot of local jobs in Britain, or how there are huge payouts for these immigrants and stuff. So that's at the very heart of it. And if Britain was to decide to leave EU and take a very stark stand on immigrants, it would trigger, I'm sure, a very deep thinking about in other countries also whether they would want to leave something, a regional agreement like EU, and how would they want to sharpen their views on immigrants. And this is not just related to EU within EU immigrants. It's also related to the larger point of immigrants from other continents and countries.
And what do you think the impact will be on the larger political establishment across Britain, especially concerning the tone of the entire debate has been very heated throughout?
Yes, so the interesting feature in Britain is that you'll find that this debate about remain and leave is not following any set party lines. It's not as if all conservatives are on one side and all Labour voters are on one side. There's a lot of mishmash, and it is largely to be expected, because in the past the Labour Party is actually broken. The Social Democratic Party was formed as a result, of this thing, and now today, because the Conservatives have been in power and have just been re-elected with a good majority, the Conservatives are under fire right now, because there's a huge camp within Conservatives who wants to leave, and a lot of them also want to stay. So definitely it will have a huge impact. If Britain was to leave, it would have a huge impact. Even if actually Britain was decided not to leave, one cannot rule out a substantial chunk forming its own opinion and saying that, well, this vote is, even if we've lost, we want to consolidate further and maybe talk about this later. So it's an important issue not just for Britain, not just for EU, but also for other countries who might have similar concerns about regional integration, about the role of immigrants in their economy, in their society.
All right. Thanks a lot for watching Indian Express Online.